Hey everybody, this is just a little quick update on how to install a Compustar remote start system on the 2020 4Runner. The instructions say in the Compustar manual that you have to install a hood pin in order for it to work, basically making sure the hood's closed so you can't start the vehicle while it's running in case anyone's under the hood. Sorry for the pause, my phone rang. So I was reading on the internet, and it says that the newer 4Runners do not have a hood pin built in. However, after I went through the hassle of buying a separate hood pin, installing it, and wiring it up, I just looked at my dash lights and it shows that the hood was open. So at least the 2020 4Runners do have a hood pin. The model that I used was the Compustar FT DC3 model. I've used this on my last two vehicles. It's a programmable brain. You need a USB connection. You can plug it into your computer, create an account with iData Link, and basically configure the module to your vehicle. Now, one of the nicer things about the newer models that the older models don't is you can get a T-harness. Basically, there's only 2 to 3 connections that you have to make with the car. The T-harness plugs in to the computer right here and here. There's a harness that goes up to the steering column here and here, and there's only one other wire that you have to attach, which goes to the back of the computer. I actually had removed the whole computer to do this, to make it easier. There's one pink wire coming out of the 56 pin plug on the back of the computer here that you have to tie into a relay. And the relay is just a standard 5-pin automotive relay. Wired it up. You don't even use the one pin, but it specifies that you have to use a 5-pin relay. The old way to do this, which I have previously done on some of my older cars and my older 4Runner, is actually using a high current harness, which involves hooking up the majority of these and probably 6 other wires. It's tedious, it's a lot of splicing, and if your vehicle has a T-harness, it makes it so much easier. Because, as I stated, the only wire I had to hook up was that one wire. I added another wire for the hood pin later to find out that I did not need it. So in order to do this, you always want to make sure you unhook the battery. You're working around the airbag here. You don't want that accidentally going off on you. And to make this a lot easier, because I couldn't find any write-ups on how to take this apart properly, I ended up removing the whole airbag component, and it's just 4 bolts. One here, 2 on the other side. I didn't totally take it off because it has the connectors that are real pain in the butt to remove, and I didn't actually want to mess with the airbag. So I took that off, lowered it down, supported it out of the way so I had a lot more room to work. Removing the car's computer makes this so much easier to do. You don't really have to remove this green module right there, but you do need to unbolt that bolt. There's one back there, and there's one on the bottom. And then you can take that whole bracket out, pull the computer out, unhook all the plugs, and it makes splicing that wire that you got to tie into the relay so much easier. For those that don't know how to take the dash apart, basically there's a bolt here on the bottom, there's a bolt over here hidden behind the panel, and you just pull out on it, pull out on the front, and it comes out. The steering column is by far the biggest pain in the butt to remove. There's 2 screws that go behind the steering wheel, one on this side, one on the other side. And basically, as you're doing it, once everything's connected, they lock in place pretty firm. But I'd always found that if you get it right near the line and push in and then pull down, it makes it a lot easier to pop the retaining clips out. Also, in the newer 4Runners, to get the lower dash panel out, you have to remove the AC trim panel that's connected right here, and it just pulls forward. Real easy to remove. So I got everything wired up, got everything working, tested it out. There's a little bit of programming you got to do with the unit. If you bought the unit, it says it in the manual. It's fairly simple. Nice thing I like about the Compustar units is you can choose the antenna that you want. You can get simple one-way communication with a couple 100-yard range, and they go all the way up to cell phone, drone mobile things that you can use from an unlimited mileage. I like it for when I'm at work, cold days. I bought the 2-mile antenna. I found they're never as advertised. I previously had used a different antenna and I wasn't able to start my vehicle from work. The two-way remotes are real nice. They have fancier ones than this, but this one basically, once you start it, it'll flash that it's running. If it doesn't start, it'll flash red and have an error, so you really know what you're doing. If any of you have any questions, feel free to leave comments. This is my first time doing it on this vehicle. I had actually just purchased this vehicle on Saturday. I can live without the remote start, but my fiance, this was the first thing that she wanted taken care of. So I'm going to put everything back together. Steering column goes on first, lower dash trim, the radio cover, the kick panel, and then the trim down the side here. I just got to tuck all the wires up and away. And the nice thing is about this is there is plenty of room in there to tie this small module and the wiring up out of the way without it interfering with any of the pedals or the steering column. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.